So Shelley, £1,000.
Amazing.
Cash prize winning. So let's walk to the gym now and let's listen to your story and see how we got to this point.
Thank you.
So how long have you been a member for?
About 1.5 years. So I started with Matt when he first opened the gym.
Yeah. What results have you achieved in that time?
I've lost over 2 stone.
Wow.
Inches, I can't tell you exactly up to date, but a lot.
Yeah.
A couple of dress sizes easily. Yeah, it took a while for me to focus in the beginning, but then once I did, yeah, you saw the results quite quickly.
And how did you find your fitness levels and your strength? Was that?
100% better. I struggled a lot with injuries that I've obtained through netball and different things. And so obviously my knees, I was always a bit dubious of. I wear supports on them, but to be fair, they were 100% better. I haven't really struggled at all with my knees since I started, even though I still carry on wearing my support. But yeah, strength-wise, it's incredible, really.
So that's some amazing progress. So before you started HQ, what was your main struggles with your health and your fitness? And
I'm somebody who does quite a lot of cardio. So I netball, a lot of walking. I did run up until I broke my knee and a few issues. I just felt like I was at a standstill. So obviously, as Matt knows, I'm 50 this year in July. So I was getting to where my body, it just altered. You weren't losing the body fat. I didn't lose what I wanted to do with the amount of work I put in with cardio. So when I'd seen Matt and I'd seen the results of I know quite a lot of the members in Leek because I've worked in Leek. So I sort of asked a few of them because I know them quite well, and they'd had some fantastic results. So as soon as Matt opened up here, I sort of messaged him and found a bit more about it, really.
So the biggest thing is walking through the door. So you must have had some worries before you walked through those doors. What was the worries?
Very much. The fact that obviously you're doing weights, so you don't know what sort of people that you've got here, and you don't want to look like you're not included and feel a bit of an outcast and not the perfect shape. Matt's done amazing. Some fantastic people in here. I've made some really good friends, which I'd carry on regardless, you know, and I'm a bit of a diverse person. I can be friends with someone that's younger or older, you know, and this sort of gym creates that environment. You don't have to be a set pattern or shape. You've got some really good people that are very focused, and also ones that want to become focused, that are trying the best. Different goals.
Yeah, so a team together as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Brilliant. So how has your life changed since this, you know, you've made some incredible progress. How's your life changed since joining?
It is my life. I mean, obviously I've got kids, but it's an environment where you come to, and it is my sort of social. I go out, come here. I have got people that I train with that come with me. I've got a real good friend, Laurie. You know, we tend to come together and do the strength room, but I can walk in anytime, and the members are just so friendly, and a lot of them have become really good friends, and their journeys have been astounding. What's nice as well is you see somebody that comes in, and because I've been here about 1.5 years, and then a few months later you see them transform, which is the perfect name for your gym, obviously, because it is actually like that. I mean, when you first start, you don't see that because you're that member that's the one that needs to change, but then you see the new members come, and it's just incredible to look at them when they first come, and then like 2 or 3 months later that they've so much improved strength wise, and the body's altered so quickly.
Yeah, and that's an amazing environment to be in as well.
Yeah.
It breeds change as well.
It does, yeah.
Brilliant. So to take you back 18 months ago, doing the 6-week meltdown program, that was obviously the introductional program that you came into. How did you find that program? Like your fears? How did you find the food, the training, everything?
I'll have to be honest, the food was my biggest issue, because I am quite a focused person when it comes to sport. But my food, obviously with kids and
daily routines that are just manic. It took me a while to get round the food, but I've adapted it to my lifestyle. My little girl that's still at home, I say little girl, she's 12, the youngest one, she's sort of adapted to it as well, which is good because she's very sporty, so it's going to establish her for later on in life because she's eating healthier. You tend to, when you're at home and you're rushing with the kids, you tend to grab stuff that's probably not what you should be grabbing, but you think you haven't got time to prepare things.
Yeah, and and if you can include it in your family unit, that makes it so much more easier rather than trying to do loads of different things. So it sounds like you've obviously done that as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So walking through the doors in the 6-week program, obviously is that quite a bit of a fear. So how did you find that coming in and doing the sessions as well on the 6 weeks?
Very scary when I first walked in, but then initially Matt is just he's so good, and he's so quiet and he's got that soothing effect, so even your nerves, he just gets on, helps you, pushes you if you need pushing, talks to you, what your goals are. I found it very easy, to be fair. Within the first couple of sessions I knew I was totally hooked. Yeah.
Brilliant. So obviously you've made massive progress since then, and you took part in the 12-week shoot program a few times. How's that been?
Obviously the first shoot, I had a lot to learn. The calorie drops. I do a lot of walking, so I was very frustrated with myself because I felt like I wasn't doing what I should be doing. And then Matt obviously talked to me and said that's a natural process. The second shoot, I sort of knew what I was doing more so. I'm no expert by any means, but I knew what to expect. So I knew that I was going to feel tired and a bit lethargic, and I knew then that I'd got to dig down and not give up, because it's easy just to say, oh, I can't do this. I've got quite an active job. I walk a lot in my job, so I found that quite tiring, but that's the thing that when you need to think, no, I've got to do this, and it makes you more focused.
100%. I mean, people have said like it gives them a whole new lease of life because they finally get an understanding of what they've got to be doing, and so people know is that, you know, people come and do the 6 weeks and then you become a monthly member and then you get an option to take part in the 12-week shoot program if that's what you want to do, and it accelerates your results, doesn't it? And it really gives you a good deep understanding of what you should be doing. And obviously, you know, it's great to use everyone's pictures, but to put people's minds at rest, we take people's privacy very seriously. We don't have to, you know, they don't have to have the pictures everywhere because we like to do that, but that is obviously, you know, it's a key part to what we do as well, isn't it?
Definitely.
So how did you find the THQ sessions like this?
Obviously, initially, you in the beginning, your muscles ache, you're fatigued, you're tired. I've built up now where I can my muscles repair much more quicker, which obviously shows that I'm a lot stronger. So aching, yes, when you change your sessions every month, you get the first probably 10 days where every muscle that you've not used aches. But yeah, it's funny because your muscles are obviously a lot stronger, so the repairing of them is a lot quicker. So I don't ache as much, nowhere near as much. It just, I just get on with it, really. Yeah,
brilliant. How do you find like the small group aspect? So
Love
you
it.
I
wouldn't like to be in a big group. I wouldn't be me at all. Even now, and knowing all the members, I still like the fact that there's only 6 of us. I think that helps the members as well, because we can actually talk to each other, and it's just nicer. It's more.
So looking at your even if looking at your before and after picture, you can physically see how well you've done. But just from the first interview we did, I know it was on Zoom, but you can physically see now you're lean, fit, and strong. And I think that's that's incredible to see. Were you scared that lifting weights was not going to turn your body shape like this, and it was going to turn you to big or bulky or anything?
Obviously, I'm tall, so initially people always say to you, "You're big." And that to me means all over. So initially I did not want to bulk out, because I wanted a toned shape, but I didn't want to bulk out because I feel like I'm tall, and it's okay if you've got clothes that show your body, but if you're in a jumper and you're tall and you're it's not flattering. So I have found that is one thing that I really didn't understand, was the fact that the weights, it has changed me, but it's actually reduced my size. And you don't get that until you do it.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of those. It's not in your head because you just see other people and they're big and bulky, and I didn't want that shape.
Yeah, and I think and no matter, I think until you experience it yourself, we can show you all the pictures in the world, but you have to experience it yourself, especially.
Definitely.
Yeah, brilliant. What's the coolest thing that's happened to you, your transformation?
Obviously, winning the shoot. Astounding. I didn't honestly in a million years expect that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously Matt told me put me forward for Ashbourne, but never in my wildest dreams, because you've got so many of your franchises from your gym.
Yeah.
There's so many members. The results have been phenomenal, haven't they? So I mean, obviously I wanted to, because I am competitive. There's no lie about that. You know, you want to do the best. And I think the older you are, the more you want to win something, because then you feel like you've achieved something.
Yeah.
So it was just, you know, I was so grateful he put me forward just to be for Ashbourne, really. To win overall. And I've had some absolutely lovely messages. Yeah. Not just from the Ashbourne members. I've had, because I know a lot of people in the Leap members have messaged me as well, which is really nice, you know.
Yeah.
So,
no, thoroughly deserved. Obviously, you know, your before and after picture just speaks for itself. But like, listening to your story as well, and you know, your commitment over the last year and a half. I'm really glad that, you know, it was, you know, you come out on top and you won it.
Thank you.
So, well done. So let's talk about the food. So obviously, you've been quite a journey on nutrition. Like, tell me from the start, from when you first come in, from the 6-week food to then what you eat now. Just you tell me.
I would say my food in the beginning, when I first started, was rushed. Because I am really busy, and you know, I'm driving the daughter here, there, everywhere, work. So it was always something that I quickly put together, which you look at it and you possibly think it's quite healthy, but actually when you go onto MyFitnessPal and you start scanning things, you realise a lot of the things that you're consuming are really not what you think they are. So from what I was now to what I am, from what I was to what I am now, I've realised how quick food is. You know, I do some of the recipes, but my life doesn't sort of entitle doing it all the time. So I use a steamer. I've treated myself to a steamer, air fryer, obviously. But these things have cut time, actually, not created time, which I thought they were going to. So yeah, I'll eat a lot of vegetables, which are done in the steamer in 15 minutes, 8-15 minutes. Fish. All things that I didn't really consume because I always thought they were going to take ages to cook.
So you mentioned before you was busy, and obviously that's why you was eating quickly. Now you're spending a little bit more time to cook, but you're fit, lean and healthy. Do you feel like you have more time now just because you've got more energy and you feel fit?
Yeah, definitely. And I've realised how to adapt my time.
Yeah.
You know, because people say to me, well, you work dead early in the morning and you do, where'd you fit it in? I was like, well, I go from here, try and do my 6 o'clock in the morning because that fits in with my lifestyle. It doesn't interfere with what my daughter's doing, or I've got horses. So last year, as Matt knows, I had a different situation for my horses. My routine was different. I've had to adapt that to what I'm doing this year because obviously time changes and new clubs for the kids, and you know, everything changes, doesn't it? So 6 o'clock I try and come and do a strength room with my friend. But yeah, people always say, oh, I haven't got time. You have, but I've learned now you adapt your time to what is in your lifestyle.
Yeah,
we've all got an hour to spare somewhere along.
Yeah, 100%. So you started on the 6-week program.
Yeah.
What would you say to anybody thinking about doing the 6-week program?
Don't even think about it, do it.
No.
Honestly, the transformation you'll get, it probably, like you say, the 6-week one's more of an introduction, isn't it? So it shows you what you're doing.
Yeah.
After that, I thought the 6 weeks one, my body altered a tiny bit, but I wasn't as focused and motivated in the 6 weeks. But then it got to about say between the 6th and the 9th week, and then my body altered my measurements. And I did keep saying to Matt that my weight wasn't altering too much. And Matt was like, don't keep, because I was like, why is I'm not dropping off on the scales? And Matt said, yes, but go home and measure yourself. So I did. And then I realised, because I've not been someone who measures myself, I've always been on the scales.
Yeah.
So I got on the scales. There wasn't much difference. Then I started measuring myself and I was like, oh God, I've lost here and I've lost there. And then I'd come in and say to Matt, and Matt was like, yeah, just give it time. And then I would say it's probably about the 9th, 10th week, and then my weight started altering. But it was because I think I'd got myself into a routine. I'd created the time to come here, eating more healthy, and I'd become then hooked and focused.
Brilliant. Well, thank you very much.
No problem.
And hopefully,
thank you very much.
Hopefully this story inspires you guys. And if you want any information about a 6-week program, feel free to drop us a message. And who knows, you could win the next £1,000 cash prize.